Peace, we back in this bitch once again. At a different location though. Now this is just gonna be a video test just to make sure that the connection is cool before I actually start spitting. So we're gonna give it a few minutes, make sure the signal is stable. What's up, Double Cup? What's the deal? I'm feeling real good today. That's why I just wanted to present some information, present some of my findings. That's why I want to get this information out. That's why I keep coming back. So we switched up locations. We're going to make sure that the signal is stable. So if it's stable, we're going to go in. If not, we just have to do it some other time. But for now, everything is looking good so far, but you never know. So we're going to give it a few minutes. What's up, G-Star? What's the deal? What's up, Mr. F? What's up, Marvin and Magi? Peace. Yeah, the connection is good so far. You know what I mean? But I just wanna double check, wanna make sure, cause it was going crazy. But I think it was more so the information, more so than the actual connection. But like I said, I do videos all the time. Y'all never see problems with the connection. That's very rare. So, but the information is rare. You know what I mean? It's not really nobody else talking about this stuff. Very few people. So, you know. We gonna have little hiccups and hang-ups every now and then, but we just gotta navigate through them. But yeah, we 2 minutes in, and it seems like everything is good. So I'm gonna just kind of just start talking a little bit. And the whole purpose of this video. So the name of the video is called Life Hacks and Cheat Codes. Now, why did I name it Life Hacks and Cheat Codes? Well, like I said, for those who don't know, like I said, we're 6 weeks in. We 6 weeks in, traveling all around the city, exploring the city. Being on our own time, being on our own schedule. You know what I mean? Seeing the true reality with our own eyes, not taking nobody else's word for it. Have a first-hand experience. With all this information that's navigating over the internet, all this information all around the world that we have now been presented. Everything, even before 2012, but definitely after 2012. So I just wanted to be one of those people who put it to the test. Not somebody who feels like it sounds good but don't know how to put it into action, or, it's a piece missing here, a piece missing there. So I'm just going about my journey, just making sure that I can connect the dots and seeing how useful all this information is, so it just won't be something just super spooky and none of us really know the potential. So I'm just here to see what the potential is. For example, I'm pretty sure everybody who knows about manifestation has manifested something at some point. You may not necessarily be manifesting everything you want every single day, but you have at least experienced some type of results on some level. So my question is, instead of getting results some of the time, what has to be done for somebody to get results all of the time? Now, we can say, what's up, Young? Now, we can say, all right, if a person has X amount of dollars, they should be able to manifest rapidly, because all you really gotta do is snap your fingers, right? Snap your fingers. Anything can be delivered to you straight to your door. We are in the times of instant manifestation, essentially. You can literally have anything delivered to your front door. Essentially, at this point, there's very, very few things that you can't manifest directly to you. Now, another situation may be, okay, what if somebody doesn't want to use the traditional route of having just a bunch of money that they have access to? What if another person says, okay, manifestation goes a little bit deeper than just having X amount of dollars. Let's see if we can bypass the money and manifest directly from thought, to the point where now you're not necessarily the person spending the money, but you can position yourself to receive what you're asking for without you having to break the bank, let's just say. So what about this particular scenario? How would this particular scenario works? Now, I'm sure everybody who has been walking this journey has had some results in that area where you have had a manifestation either given to you by another person, or you find it, or miraculous things happen to the where you position yourself to receive it. Now, my question becomes after that is, so there's many different ways to apply this science, as I have experienced. And peace. You said do an entire series on this? An entire series? Hey, like I said, I got courses, I got a lot of information that I just simply don't speak on, because it's not really, I'm not going to say it's not for the public, because, I speak about a lot of ridiculous stuff already. Like, I'm already pushing the line. However, I definitely want to have certain things that I speak about that is more structured. And for those, I'm definitely, that's why I have created my website. So let me speak about this before we move on. The whole purpose of me creating my website, asharenu.com, is to present deeper information. That's also the reason why I'm writing a book called Seership. So I'm writing a book, and I also have the website, because through the website I want to be able to deliver private courses. So for those who are interested in the deeper science, you can become a student over on the website. And that's it. I'm setting everything up so that I can do that in the future. So, it may only be 10, 15 people, sign up for the class, and just get the work, speak about things, and everybody can communicate with each other, so it brings people together who's on the same mind frequency, and we all build. It's like I'm the medium. I bring everybody together, and we can all build. So that's definitely what I'm working on in the future. So for anybody who's interested in possibly taking a course about, any course, it can be a course on sex magic, it can be a course on manifestation, it could be a course on anything. Now, yes, if you go to the website right now, it's just basic stuff. It's just a basic website. It's just up there just so I can say I got a website. So you're not going to be able to find, of course, I got articles up there. I got a lot of things is up there right now. But in terms of the courses, that's not up there right now, because I'm going to set that up. I have to make the decision on what topic to talk about first. So once I decide on the topic, then I definitely let everybody know. Then you will be able to sign up through the website, and we'll be able to hold private courses for those who want to take that route. Now, have I seen I Pet Goat 2? I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what that is. I don't know if that's a video game. I don't know if that's a movie. I don't know if that's a skit on the internet. I have no idea what that is. So let me continue. So I just wanted to throw that out there, So for all the future students who are interested in deeper science, definitely let me know. Reach out. Hit my email, asha@asharenu.com. So once I get about, let's just say 10, 15 people, don't have to be a large number of people at all. It don't take that. So if I get about 10, 15 people like, yo, we want this course, then I make it happen. So that's all. It don't have to be a large group of people. It don't have to be nothing special. So y'all definitely let me know. So if you are interested in deeper, because there's nothing for me to go deeper, because once I start, I'll bring out those tarot cards, and I'll bring out these books, I'll bring out all this deeper information, then there's nothing for me to take it a step, so that YouTube public videos are really just an introduction for deeper mysteries. You know, whether you want to find out and discover on your own, or, you know what I mean, you want to take a class. So definitely hit up the email, asharenu.com, you know, for further information. Now, getting back on point, life hacks and cheat codes. So the first thing I want to speak on is a life hack and a cheat code is different than a shortcut. Now, I'm not here to promote anybody taking shortcuts. So I want to make that clear. So when I say life hacks, when I say cheat codes, this isn't to say that you don't have to put in work to get results. What this is saying is there is a alternative route to get the results that you seek, but you are putting in a different type of work than somebody else. So for example, as I said before, you know, you have those who, let's just say your money is right? So it ain't nothing for you. Let's just say you want something that's worth 50 bucks. Your money is right. So it ain't nothing for you to go to the store or go to wherever the item is located and you pick up what you need for 50 bucks. However, there's also a way to receive that which you seek from a miraculous event. Again, I say events. I don't really call these things moments in time. I call it events. Because when we start looking at miracles and all these miraculous things that happen, we look at it as events. We can put it into proper context. Because, you know, of course, every day is an event. You know, it all depends on how you seek and how you look. You know, how you perceive. When you perceive every day as an event and you expect events or event-like situations to occur, such as miracles, meaning when there's a large group of people gathered for one common cause, miraculous things can happen because all of these minds are connected. So let's just say you have 100 people that come out. All of these 100 people have came out for the same reason. So when these 100 people gather in the same atmosphere, they can bounce thoughts off of each other verbally as well as telepathically. So thoughts can be bounced around and they can receive information that otherwise would have been unavailable to, let's just say, somebody who would just sit in their room, you know, trying to receive information. So when you gather like-minded individuals, they can create miracles. You know what I mean? You can do miraculous things. You can witness miraculous things when people come together for one common cause. Now, of course, anybody who has ever been to an event can bear witness to this. There's just certain things that happen that you just, but I want to keep things moving. So for example, as I showed y'all the last video, I'm walking around, you know, with a bag full of porno movies, right? And I've been making videos about, you know, the sexual force and everything that comes with that. So it's very interesting because, of course, you know, every now and then somebody's going to be nosy and, you know, try to see what's in your bag, as you know, as people do. Then when they see what's in the bag, it's like they have a reaction as expected, because, you know, who's just walking around with a bag full of pornos, right? That, you know, it ain't that they didn't buy, you know. So I say that to say, when I conduct these experiments, we can call them social experiments, I do it with the intention to discover life hacks. In other words, for example, if I want to see how people react from a particular situation, whether it be me conducting the experiment or I'm watching an experiment being conducted and being an observer, whatever the situation may be. For example, I'll give you a perfect example. You know, this was a few years back. So this is during my times in LA, where I would travel around the city. Same thing I'm doing now, but I was just doing it in LA. So one of the stops was, of course, Hollywood Boulevard, right? So, you know, if you ever been to Hollywood Boulevard, you can kind of picture the atmosphere. If you haven't been, it's pretty much a lot of weed in the air, a lot of weed being blown, a lot of clubs, a lot of hip-hop music being played. You know, you're not going to see nobody in suits, so it's a very casual atmosphere. You know what I mean? A lot of all races, all creeds, all heritage. You know, everybody's down there. Hollywood also breaks down to the number 3. I was talking about the number 3 in the previous video as well. So just add that to the mix. So Hollywood also breaks down to the number 3. So there's a lot of alchemy going on in Hollywood, to say the least. It's a lot of alchemy. You know, a lot of sexual relations from all types of people, different types of people. It's similar in a way in Vegas, but it's slightly different. But we don't have to speak on that just yet. So on Hollywood Boulevard, I decided, I'm like, okay, since the West Coast is more open to the spiritual information than just, let's say, you say down south, let me meditate in front of all these people and see what the reaction would be, right? So I'm on this busy street called Hollywood Boulevard, and I just sit down in half lotus position and I meditate, and I have someone with me to be my eyes, because obviously my eyes are going to be closed, so I'm not going to be able to see. Now, I've told this story before, but I'll reiterate it here just to bring together the point that I'm making. So I'm on Hollywood Boulevard in half lotus position with my eyes closed, with a peaceful look on my face, no stress in my face. And I meditate for maybe a good 45 minutes in that position. It's about 45 minutes. And I asked the person that's with me, shout out to Alejandro, I'm like, be my eyes. Let me know what's going on. Let me know how the people react. So while he's observing with his eyes, I'm playing in my mind. Meaning, I'm chanting a mantra in my mind. Right? So, you know, I'm visualizing things. So I'm doing all the mental exercises that goes along with meditation. But I don't necessarily physically see what's going on. So about 10 minutes in to that, you know, somebody puts money in my hand, and they shake my hand and like, yo, I appreciate you. Mind you, I never met this person. I had no idea who this person was. So a random person walked up, put money in my hand, shakes my hand, and like, yo, I really appreciate you. I'm like, oh, okay. Somebody appreciate, like, I'm just meditating. You know, this is what we do anyway, right? For all my meditators, this is what you do anyway, right? But it's a whole different dynamic when you have an audience. It's a whole different energy field when you have an audience, when people are looking at you. It's different than when you are meditating in the privacy of your own home. It's the same way. Let two people be engaging in the act of sex publicly. It's going to be way different than if they were doing it behind closed doors. They will gather an audience. Now, yeah, it's going to be people that's like, yo, that's disgusting. Yo, you know, it's going to be people like, yo, it's kids out here and all that. But majority of the people are going to want to watch because they just don't expect to see something like that. You just don't expect to see people publicly having sex. That's just something that you don't walk out of your front door thinking that you're going to see. So when you walk out of your front door and you get to your destination and you see something like that, of course, you know, we're in an age now where everybody is going to be pulling out their phones more so than just observing. So just imagine there's people publicly having sex, great sex, I may add. Not the 15-minute session. Like, let's just say a whole 30 minutes. So say you see people publicly having sex for a full 30 minutes, like a full-fledged, you are observing a porno scene in real life. Why? Because you're going to have a crowd of motherfuckers recording it. It's going to be recorded. And they're going to show it to many people. They're going to upload it on the internet, World Star and all that stuff. It's going to be all around the internet. Or people having public sex on Hollywood Boulevard, or wherever it is. So it's going to be all over the internet. It's going to be in people's phones. Then there's going to be even more people just watching, just to see what's going on. Then there's going to be very, very few people that's like, yo, y'all need to get a room somewhere. Or, these kids out here, what do you guys think? There's going to be very, very few people that may confront the people like, yo, do y'all realize y'all not supposed to be doing this? Then, of course, lastly, then you may have cops come and break it up. Nonetheless, the damage has been done. You have publicly observed the act of sex. This has the equivalent to a traumatic experience effect on people. I'll say that one more time. So just as something very traumatic can affect somebody deeply for years and years and years to come, that's something that most likely a person will never forget. They will remember that for the rest of their lives. Now, something as simple as sex that we all engage in at some point in life, but for some reason, when you see it being engaged in publicly, this has an imprint on your mind, because you're going to be flabbergasted. You're going to be taken aback at the bravery of somebody doing it right in front of everybody in broad daylight. That's going to leave an imprint on your mind that otherwise, you could be going home about to engage in the same act yourself, but it's not going to have that same effect on you. So that lets you know right there, whenever we are working, whether we want to call it magic, we want to call it alchemy, we can even call it mathematics. Like what we deem as manifestation and what we deem as spirit work, doing spells and all that, you can say, yo, this is just mathematics. This is just the law of correspondence. You can call it whatever you want. But when you do it in front of people, to the point where you have people observing your acts, this gives you more energy than usual. So let me get back to the story I was telling before. So I was meditating in half lotus position on Hollywood Boulevard. I had the homie, and I told him to be my eyes. I had my eyes closed, and I told you about the dude who just gave me some money. He shook my hand hard and said, I really appreciate you. Now, of course, I was kind of thrown back by that. I'm like, yo, I wasn't expecting that. Because, we get so used to meditation. You get used to things not like that not happening because you're not around people. But when you are around people, now random events can start to occur because now you're dealing at a higher level of mathematics. Let me continue. So once I finished the session, of course I asked, I'm like, all right, so let me tell me what was going on. Because all I could do was hear. So I can hear the conversations and I can kind of feel people looking at me. But I can't see anything. So when I asked, I'm like, what did you see? Even he was thrown aback. Like, yo. Like, it was people like literally staring at you. It was people who snapping photos. It was people who was confused. It was people who was like, yo, that's dope. You know what I mean? It was even cops. It was a cop who was across the street. And he crossed all the way over to the street and he shook my hand like, yo, I saw you from across the street. Good shit. also something that we all do anyway. Meditation, or you should be doing. I do it publicly, something that's that has become normal to me at this point. I do it publicly, and people want to shake in my hand. People were snapping photos. People were just looking in confusion. People were looking in astonishment. People was like, yo, what the fuck? Now, in my mind, this is just normal, everyday shit. This is what you do every morning and every night, right? Not expecting nothing serious. But when other people observe it, when other people see what you deem as normal, what you deem as obvious, to them is fucking spectacular. They're like, yo, what is that? They can't even explain. And again, there was a couple people brave enough to like, yo, and shake my hand. Right? But majority of the people were they just didn't know how to take it. To the point where, again, like, people were pulling out their phones, right? People are pulling out their phones, and kids are just literally staring like, yo, what is he doing? So the kids were more open. The grown-ups, were just tight-lipped, like, yeah, let's keep going. I mean, they're like, yeah. But the kids were super open to that, as they should, because, like, yo, it's meditation. You're like a guru in the mountain that meditates and attracts things and people to you. That's hella synchronicity. This is where I'm getting at. Synchronicity most of the time involves more people than yourself. So you can say you wouldn't really have a synchronistic moment inside of your home, although it's possible. But most synchronistic moments happen in the midst of other people, right? So this is where I'm getting at. Something that we all deem as normal. We all know what it is by now, right? Like, we have conversations. There's hundreds of videos. You know what I mean? We've been tuning in for a long time, right? But when we do it in front of people who are not as in tune as we may be with the universe and the laws of the universe and how it all works, or we're attempting to discover how it all works by studying the ancients, the universal laws, so on and so forth. When it's revealed to other people who may not be that deep into study, who may know nothing about the esoteric, who may only know about the exoteric, they may only take things on face value, and we have dedicated our life to looking beyond the surface. This literally has an effect on people that's equivalent to a traumatic experience. As I said, there will be people who will never forget what they seen that day, because they probably will never see it again unless I do it again, right? But it's not going to be the same people. But it has that type of effect, that type of magnitude. But we're not done here, because I did this on a different day by myself. And this time, I put a piece of art. I constructed a piece of art. I believe I showed it on my video called How to Channel Information. I did a video months back called How to Channel Information, and I showed y'all this drawing I did called REM sleep. I just wrote the letters REMSLEEP, REM sleep, but I decorated it artistically to the point where you wouldn't know that it said REM sleep, because it's more so affecting your right brain as well. So it doesn't look like it says REM sleep, it looks like a drawing. And again, if you want to see it, just reference that video. Otherwise, so I put that in front of me. So I'm in half lotus position, Hollywood Boulevard. I put that image in front of me. So I meditate again, 45 minutes, an hour, 45 to 60 minutes, with my eyes closed, so I don't know what's going on. I open my eyes. Somebody has dropped a necklace on the art. It was a necklace. They dropped it right there. I didn't know who it is because I kept my eyes closed. I didn't see who it was, and they didn't bother to let me know who they were either, because to them it was just a heartfelt experience. And I'm like, this wasn't something that they just had in their book bag or something, or they just had in their pocket. This is something that they were wearing around their neck, and they took it. I'll just pull out my pieces, right? So just to reiterate the point. So let's just say I got my pieces on, right? I see somebody meditating, and I'm like, you know what? This affects me so profoundly that I'm going to take off one of my necklaces right off my neck. It may be the only one I have. I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to give it to this stranger, right? So somebody drops a necklace right on an artistic piece. Now the necklace was eucalyptus, which is that green and pink stone with crystal quartz. It was eucalyptus, a eucalyptus necklace with crystal quartz, and it had a pendant, and the pendant was a Shiva lingam crystal, Shiva lingam. So at the time I didn't know what it was though. See, that's crazy. See, when at the time I had no idea what a Shiva lingam was. I didn't find out what that was until maybe weeks later when I walked into a crystal shop downtown LA. And they immediately, the clerk immediately knew what it was. He was like, oh, that's Shiva lingam. I'm like, yo, I literally have gone a month not knowing what this crystal was, but I felt the effect of it. It's like, it's a very, very masculine stone. As those who know, lingam is pretty much like phallus or penis. So it deals with masculine energy, right? So, but at the time, I had no idea what it was. But I felt the effects of it. And I let the homie wear it. You know what I mean? Yo, you wear it. Let me, you see the effects it has on you. Because I'm just the type of person, especially if I have somebody with me, I'm like, yo, I don't want to just be the divine seer. Show me what you see. Tell me what you see. I want you to try it out too. I want you to get results. It's not going to be the same results I get, but I want you to have your own unique experience. You know what I mean? You don't just have to listen to me and look at what I'm doing the whole time. So, continuing the story. So somebody literally took a necklace right off their neck, set it down, didn't bother to let themselves be known, because obviously they were not in their ego at all. They dropped the necklace and they kept it moving. So I say that to say, so literally people have given me money. People have taken necklaces right off their necks. People have shook in my hand. People are taking pictures. And again, we just getting started. And this is all from doing what we should be doing anyway. I don't necessarily consider meditation anything special, because I've been doing it for like 10 years. Literally, ever since I've discovered meditation, I've been practicing meditation. So for me, it's like, I don't view it the same way as somebody who's seen it for the first time. It's just, you know what I mean? This is just an everyday thing for me. So the fact that people were literally taking items that are personal to them, like this is around your neck, is very personal. Again, this isn't something that you just don't care about. This is something that you cherish, and you're taking it off your neck to give to somebody you don't even know. To me, it was very profound. I'm like, yo, it had that amount of effect. And this wasn't like a cheap necklace either. Like this necklace, I'm like, yo, I've never seen it. I've never seen a crystal necklace like that, and haven't seen one since. I think it was custom made. It wasn't no shit that you can just walk into a store and buy. That was something that was custom made. So obviously it had some type of worth to them if they wearing it around their neck. And for them to take it off and give it to me, a complete stranger. And all I'm doing is showing forth meditation. that's letting me know that it's deeper than meets the eye. Because again, most people don't talk about this. Why? Because most people are meditating in the privacy of their own home, right? So we really don't get to see the effects or the true effects of meditation because nobody else sees it. The same way I've been talking about sexuality for these past 3-4 videos, something that we all engage in at some point, but if you see somebody doing it in public, it has a whole different effect on you. When it should be like, oh, this is just people having sex. Everybody does it, but that's not the effect. The effect is I'm pulling out my phone. I want to remember this. I'm going to tell my whole family about this. This is a day to remember. When two people are engaged in the act that you're probably about to engage in later on yourself. But it don't have the same effect when you're doing it in the privacy of your own home. So, saying this to say, I will continue because it doesn't stop there. Because as I said, I like for other people to have an experience as well. So I'm with the homie. I'm like, yo, this meditation is going pretty good. Like, go ahead, you try it out. Of course, he was a little nervous at first because, again, it takes courage. Like, this ain't just something that anybody can do. So it is a level of courage that is not required when you do it in the comfort of your own home. So now it's extra energy added because now you got to have some balls. Or your solar plexus got to be activated for you to even do it in front of people and not be nervous and not, be susceptible to all the energy that you're receiving from them. Because again, everybody isn't going to give you positive energy. Of course, there's going to be some negative energy. Like, look at this motherfucker. Who do you think he is meditating? Because I even remember hearing it. Because when my ears was open, you get sirens, right? I hope y'all noticed by now, literally every video is sirens, right? Every video, motherfucker just driving up and down, right? Just want y'all to take heed of that. That's not by mistake. Peace, peace. I see everybody. SWTV, peace and divine love. I see everybody. Let me finish the story. So I told the homie, I'm like, yo, because again, this requires a lot of courage. This is why you can say it has the effect it has, because everybody know, like, yo, anybody can meditate in their own room, but very, very few people are going to meditate in public, especially when there's a lot of people around. And they're like, I don't think so. Let us continue. So I'm like, yo, you meditate, and I'll be your eyes. So because he saw me do it, it eased the resistance. Because if I just told him, like, yo, you just go meditate, bro, you're like, I don't know about that. But I'm like, yo, let me be the spark. Let me do it. Because once you see me do it, then you know, like, all right, it ain't shit. I just saw him do it. I can do it too. You know what I mean? It's like, as opposed to if I'm telling you to do it and you ain't even seen me do it. Like, of course, we got to practice what we preach, right? We got to put in the work. We can't just put it on somebody else. So after he seen me do it, I'm like, okay, yeah, you go ahead, give it a shot, bro. Let's see what happens. So I'll be your eyes. So when he did it, it was so profound. He literally, it was like a group of 4 or 5 people that walked past, and they was like whispering in his ear. They're like, yo, what are you doing, bro? You know what I mean? They was trying to talk to him, and he's talking back, but he's keeping his eyes closed. He's trying to explain, it's meditation. Won't. So after he explains what he's doing, these 4 or 5 motherfuckers literally sit they ass down next to him. Now you got 6 people in a row meditating. They were like, you know what? That sounds pretty cool. Let us try it too. So you literally see 6 motherfuckers meditating on Hollywood Boulevard. Now I'm like, yo, that's profound. We just sitting here minding our own fucking business, conducting our own social experiments. Now you got other people meditating in a row that wants to add on to your energy. They're like, yo, let us contribute to what you're doing because we feel what you're doing is a noble deed. You're doing a noble deed. Let us give you energy and join in on the energy. That's the effect it had on them. They want to sit the fuck down and join in. Didn't even know what it was before they saw it. Now, of course, this draws even more attention. And you know, to make a long story short, we ended the night with some amazing events that occurred that expanded our minds beyond just simple meditation. Because meditation, no book could probably tell you that, for one. No book can probably tell you what we seen and what we observed. That's why we have to take it upon ourselves to expand on the foundation that has already been laid out for us. All these things that we're all familiar with, like manifestation, meditation, the matrix is an illusion, all these things, right? We hear all these sayings from all these different people who've been saying this for 20, 30, 40 years now. And of course, this goes back to ancient time. This is just how people thought at one point in time. Like, this is just this is the correct way of thinking, when you're dealing with people who are not suppressed. Like, if you just leave people alone, they will figure shit out. Trust and believe, right? So there's people who are left alone who are able to figure life out. They made certain discoveries and life hacks that enabled them to enhance their experience here. So again, nobody could have told me that, like, yo, when you meditate in front of people, you're gonna get a reaction. I just, in my mind, was like, yo, this is, everybody already knows about this, right? Well, my feeble mind at that time wasn't ready to receive, like, yo, this is, like, you're literally changing lives. This is, people look at you and they see the peace in your face and they feel the energy that you're emitting, which is all love. No stress in your face, in full lotus position, your posture is good. It astonishes people. It makes people want to dig in their pocket and reward you. It makes people want to take things right off their neck and give it to you. It makes people want to snap photos. It makes people want to ask, who are you? What do you do? It opens up a lot of opportunity that otherwise would not have been available if, we were just like everybody else walking up and down the street trying to find shit to look at. Now we become the thing that is sought after, that is gazed upon. Now people are giving us free energy. We are receiving free energy by simply choosing to meditate amongst people and not afraid to be seen and not afraid to deal with what comes with that. So that gives you even more energy than you otherwise would be receiving alone, as we have been explaining here. So it's just a reminder of the things that we have become comfortable with. There's many dancers, many great dancers, who just simply dance in their own backyard, in their own garage, amongst the people that they are familiar with. It's not until you battle somebody in a crowd of people that you see your true potential. Your true potential will not be discovered in the backyard. Your true potential will not be discovered in the bedroom. Your true potential is discovered when all eyes are on you. When you are at an event and somebody challenges you, whether you win or lose, the energy that's generated from all those eyes watching allows you to do more things. And this is going into the second part of the video. The second part of the video is because a lot of people ask, mainly myself, because what we're saying nowadays is energy is the real currency, right? Energy is the real currency. Now, what exactly does that mean, though? Because, of course, you're like, yo, so how am I supposed to convert energy into something useful, right? How do I generate energy, then convert the energy? Because that's how it goes. You have to generate the energy, then you have to convert the energy. Then when the energy is converted, then you utilize it in its conversion. So in other words, without sounding too technical, when you meditate in front of people, that's you generating energy. You're generating energy simply from the act of meditation already, and from the power of thought and visualization already. But now you're gathering even more energy because people are giving you energy as well. So you are receiving essentially free energy. And because you have received that free energy, and you have also generated it, you are generating energy and receiving free energy. Now that's building the energy up, building the energy up, building the energy up. So now 45 minutes, an hour in, you get up and you go about your life. You're going to have a completely different experience because you have generated and attracted energy that you otherwise wouldn't have had if you would have just been doing something else. Right? Makes me think of the power manifested by the Buddhist monks that burned themselves in the street as a protest to the Vietnam War. Also, Dick Gregory, rest in peace, he fasted during the Vietnam War so that it would end. I believe he fasted, I don't know, I don't remember how long he did, but for some crazy amount of time. And he spoke about his experiences fasting. And amongst some of the things that he spoke about was that when you fast, it's like you walk past like light poles and lights, and they malfunction. Because when you fast, you are generating energy. Why? Because the energy that we usually use digesting our food, it burns the energy. So the energy is being burnt out digesting food. However, when we're fasting, of course, the body isn't digesting food. There's no food in your stomach, so your stomach shrinks. So when you experience hunger pains, your stomach is shrinking. So when your stomach shrinks, you experience hunger pains. Now, of course, somebody with no knowledge of that, when they experience the hunger pains, they think it's an indication to eat more when your body is really resting. So, yes, I'm fully aware of the fucking horn in the back. Y'all already know. Like, I don't want to be egotistical and say it's me doing this shit, but it's starting to feel like that. But we don't have to go there, right? It's not about me right now. I'm just giving my examples. Let us continue though. Stay on point. Because you're not eating, you are generating energy that otherwise would be being. I'm saying that all wrong. Let me start over. When you're not eating, you are generating energy instead of burning the energy. trying to digest food. There we go. So when you walk around this bitch fasting, which is another thing that the average person has never done longer than a day. People think they're gonna die if they don't eat in 3 days. I myself had to conquer that fear by going longer than 3 days without eating. But we can speak about that a little bit later, if at all. Just giving examples. So when you fast, you generate energy. See, we are natural energy generators. We generate energy naturally. We just burn the energy out when we engage in lifestyles that are not our own. You know what I mean? Eating all this crazy food, engaging in people that, you know what I mean, are crazy in their mind. See, this is the thing. Either you're making people more like you, or you're going to become like them. It's really no in between. Either you're helping people to become more like you, or you're going to become just like them. So, we are natural energy generators. We just burn a lot of our energy engaging in lifestyles that are not our own. So, a lot of our energy gets wasted. So, instead of energy being generated and we walking around like powerhouses with an abundance of energy, we tend to be tired at the end of the day. When the day is just getting started at night. You've been generating energy. You've been also receiving energy from the sun as well. So, you're fasting, generating energy. You're receiving energy from the sun. A lot of people don't like being in the sun, especially in the summer days like this when it's triple degrees. You know what I mean? I believe it's hot everywhere. It's hot everywhere at this point. Not everywhere in the world, but, you know, it's in the United States at least. So, it's a lot of people that stand inside, right? Now, of course, you know, there's a lot of people that if you buy a beach, you know, there's a lot of people in beaches. If you have a pool, there's a lot of people in pools. But majority of people don't like being in the sun for a long period of time at least. But when you are in the sun, it helps you generate energy. So what I'm saying here is life hacks, cheat codes. When we generate more energy, meditation, fasting, exercise, good diet, so on and so fucking forth. Just putting in spiritual work, right? So let me make this point before I reply to the comments. When you putting in that work, and this is what I mean by spiritual work, meaning you putting in enough work so that you naturally generate energy. When you are naturally generating energy, you have a completely different experience in life. So let me speak about my fasting experience before, you know, I engage with the people, because we about an hour in. So again, I don't want to take up too much time, but I'm glad the signal was good. You know what I mean? So salute to the signal. I don't know what the fuck was going on before. Motherfuckers was giving me hell, but we still made it through. And again, I'm glad I was able to come back. Everything is fixed now. Everything is good. So yeah, we good. We good for that. All right. So let me tell you about my fasting experience. Because of course, I always want to give y'all experience. Because why else would you be watching the videos if I'm just quoting from a book, when you can just read the fucking book, right? But that's not the case. Is my email the same? Yes. My email is asharenu.com. You can also reach me at lordasar@gmail.com. LORDASAR@gmail.com. Either one is me. You know what I mean? Also, freedom of raw expression. Freedom of raw expression at Gmail. But That's connected to my PayPal, so you wouldn't need to use that email unless you send in a donation or something like that. And of course, you know what I mean, Cash App, for everybody who use Cash App, feel free to send a donation. The username is right in the description, asharenu. You know what I mean? So let us continue. So, because I'm seeing a lot of people saying, new noise, you start to throw up if you don't eat longer than a day, then SWU, 3 days max fasting for me, right? So let me tell you about my experience. The longest I went without eating, I believe, was 12 days. Solid foods. Not a dry fast. So I was still drinking water and tea. So water and tea, nothing else. Nothing else but water and tea. So for 12 days, almost 2 weeks. Now, it wasn't all good. So let me walk you guys through, because I know a lot of people's like, yo, how the fuck is that even possible, right? You supposed to be dead, right? But let me walk you through the process. So, I was living with my mother at the time, so I let her know. I'm like, yo, I'm fasting. Cause you know how you know how mothers are. They always like to feed you. So instead of me like, yo, like, you want something to eat? You want something to eat? You want something to eat? I'm like, I'm fasting. Relax. How long are you fasting? I don't know. I'm not sure. All right, fuck it. I'm still being asked every day. You know how moms are. They don't give a fuck about what you doing. They really don't give a fuck. You know, we already know, right? So she really thought that I was gonna die. She really thought like, yo, you trying to kill yourself? I'm like, why would I want to do that? If I wanted to kill myself, I would just, you know, there's many ways to die than starving yourself. I'm like, that's probably one of the harder ways to die. I can instantly just be up out of here. So I'm like, no, I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know, so, you know, I'm getting that energy. Like, yo, you depressed? Like, you know, what the fuck? You're not eating anymore. What the fuck is wrong with you? So she literally thought I was gonna die. Like, yo, this motherfucker's about to kill himself. That's just her mentality. This motherfucker's, I'm about to be fucking making funeral arrangements in a couple days. So I'm getting that energy from her. Like, yo, what the fuck? So every day it's like, yo, you eating yet? You eating yet? I'm like, God damn it. Like, no, like, leave me the fuck alone. You know, because you're going to always have that resistance. You're going to always have resistance. It don't matter what level you on. You will have resistance. You will never be at a level where you don't have resistance. No matter how much money you have or how much success you gained or whatever spectrum you're on, you're going to always have resistance. So my resistance was family thinking I'm about to die for real, for real. So they giving me that energy. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm naturally slim. Yeah. I was a little chubby as a kid. But that's when I lived with my grandmother, and she was feeding me pig. And I was eating like 3 times a day. You know, that standard, when I was eating a standard American diet 3 times a day, you probably had meat 2 meals out of those 3 meals. And of course you eating pig. So when I was doing that, when I was chaotic with my diet, yeah, I was puffed up cheeks and all that. But when I'm natural, nah, you know what I mean? There's just no extra weight. So, shit, I probably am naturally chubby. I don't know, but no, I can eat as much as I want, and I don't gain any weight. You know, I can eat as much as I want. Motherfucking pancakes, eggs, all type of. I can eat any type of diet. So I've been the same size. Do you trip off fasting for multiple days? What's the energy like? Okay, so let me get back to the story. Okay, so like the first couple of days of me fasting, so maybe about the first 3 or 4 days, I got really sick. I got really, really sick. To the point where I could barely move. It's like every time I move, it's like my body is like weights. It was hard. It's hard to get around. It's hard to move. It's hard. Like it was that kind of sickness where you feel aches in your body. So it wasn't like sneezing and coughing. It's like your body aches. I'm having a lot of body aches, a lot of body pains. But I already knew, because I did my research before I started fasting. Like, yo, the first couple of days, you know, you're gonna have some aches. It's like your body is gonna be detoxing itself, so there's gonna be things that are being brought to the surface that were a lot more internal. So it's gonna be things brought to the surface. So you're gonna experience you know, some type of pain or some type of reaction, whatever it is in your body is gonna start to come to the surface, right? So for the first couple of days, I was really sluggish, really slow. So after about maybe day 5, day 6, I started to get my energy back. And this was when I probably had maybe about I probably had like less than 50 videos on YouTube. Yeah, like less than 50 videos. So I came to the conclusion, because it was like 2 more weeks left in the year. It was 2 more weeks left in that year. So I came to the conclusion, I'm like, all right, it's about 2 more weeks left in the year. I'm about to put out more videos in 2 weeks than anybody has ever done on YouTube of substance. Not just random videos just for the sake, like, yo, I upload the video. No, like, I'm gonna put out more videos than anybody has ever done of substance on YouTube in 2 weeks. Because my energy is coming back now. So now I'm like, yo, now my creativity is sparking. Because in those 3 or 4 days and me being real sluggish, I was having a lot of dreams though. So I wasn't able to do too much physical activity, but I was able to dream real heavy dreaming, real vivid. You know what I mean? Like my family, like I have a sister. She was calling me from a whole different state. You know, trying to get advice on spiritual stuff. I'm like, you've never called me about anything spiritual. But she started calling me about, like, yo, I'm having spiritual problems. I'm like, when you call me for that? Like, I know you into this shit. I'm like, I guess I am, right? I guess so. So that was a very weird experience for me. That thing, like, my family is calling me about spirituality, and that has never happened before. Because, you know, they don't really get it. They do their own thing. So like, they mind their business, I mind my business. So when she was asking me about that, I'm like, oh, that's weird. So day 5, day 6, I get my energy back. So I'm like, yo, I'm about to make all these videos. So I did just that. So in like a 2-week period, I uploaded 50 videos. Yeah, in a 2-week period, I uploaded about 50 videos. All of substance. And I'm like, I know ain't nobody ever did this shit before. So I'm literally uploading like 3-4 videos a day. You know, sometimes more. Right? So I upload like 50 videos. And at the time, we were in the transition of moving. So there was no Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi had been transferred and all that. So I literally had to go to the library to upload the videos. So I had to ride the bike. It was just, obviously it's December, so it's super cold. So I gotta get out in the cold, ride my bike all the way up to the library, which wasn't necessarily down the block. You know, it took a good half an hour, 45 minutes to get there, and upload some videos. I had to do that shit every day. But I got my energy back now, so it wasn't nothing. So on the seventh day, I got hit up by a woman She wanted to she was interested in spirituality and all this stuff. Then we find out we're both in Vegas. So I'm like, yeah, all right, well, let's meet up, have a conversation. Let me see where you at mentally. Let me see, how can I be of use to you? So up until this point, like whenever I would meet up with women, I would go to them, cause I didn't want no excuses. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't like, all right, meet me. This is before Uber and Lyft, where you can just hop in. Like, if you don't have a car, you can just get an Uber. You know what I mean? Just hop in, meet anybody anywhere, right? This is before all this. So this when you can make excuses like, oh, that's a little bit too far for me. I wasn't having it. So before this point, like whenever I would meet up with women, I would go to them. So I'm like, all right, let's meet up at this spot that's like a block from where you live. Or, okay, you live here, so I would search the surrounding areas. So I'm like, okay, well, we can chill up over here. It's a block away from your house, 2 blocks away. It's within walking distance, no fucking excuse. Right? So I'm used to doing that up until this point. However, she asked me, like, yo, where do you live? I'm like, okay, I live here. She's like, all right, I'm coming to pick your ass up. So I was like, wait a minute. Come to pick me up? I'm like, I'm prepared to go to wherever you are. So she's like, all right, cool, I'm coming to pick you up. So I'm like, oh. It's the first time a woman is actually picking me up. Like, I'm not the aggressor, right? Or I'm not the assertive one. So I'm coming to pick your ass up. And I'm going to treat you to whatever we're doing. So she paying for every goddamn thing. And dropping me back off, right? Okay, so during that time, this is day 7. So I let her know, I'm like, yo, I'm doing a fast, I'm on day 7. And she's asking, like, yo, how do you feel? Like, how the fuck are you even doing this shit? The date, I don't even know if it's called a date, but the meeting was like 6 hours. We hung out for about 6 hours. And probably all of those 6 hours, I was popping off at the mouth. Literally, I couldn't stop talking because my energy is up now. So I'm talking for fucking 6 hours straight. Talk to her for 6 hours straight. I'm gonna ask, did I smash? You can tell by the story I didn't smash. It's like I could have, but it's like because I had just got out of a relationship, so I was still telling her, like, yeah, I'm kind of going back and forth with my girl, even though we never got back together after that. So I could have easily said, I'm hella single, which I guess I technically was at the time, but I was like, nah, I don't know what's gonna happen in the future and all that. And again, I'm like, so if I would have lied, right? I mean, I would have been all up in. I would have been all up, but I'm like, nah, let me be truthful. I'm like, yeah, I really don't know what's going on with, me and my ex. You know what I mean? So I just like, let me chill. Like, I'm chilling. So no, I didn't smash. But the opportunity was there, apparently, right? Who the fuck is picking you up and spending cash on you? Anyway, let us continue. So for 6 hours, I'm just spitting games. 6 hours, 6 hours, 6 hours, 6 hours. I'm like, and I'll just look up. I'm like, damn, it's midnight. I'm like, I've been running my mouth for 6 fucking hours. I'm like, god damn, when have I done that before? So of course she's just loving it, right? She's loving everything. I said all the way up until the point where I told her, I'm like, yeah, I'm dealing with my ex. She's like, all right, fuck it. Ain't nothing going down. Right? Anyway. So at that point I realized, I'm like, yo, I have more energy than I've ever had in my life. I'm like, yo, when have I ever had this much energy? I've never had this much energy. Like, I literally uploaded 50 videos in 2 weeks. Women are taking me out on dates. Oh, I didn't mention that, yeah, because New Noise said fasting gives you the bands. I did manifest money, and I noticed that pattern. I'm like, when I fast, it's like I generate money. I've noticed that that happened at least. It had to happen about 3 or 4 times, 3 or 4 different fasting sessions. Then I realized I'm like, oh, I'm always generating some type of money when I fast. Why? But I understand now because, as I told y'all previously, when you fast and you are generating more energy than usual, so therefore you are at a higher frequency. So you draw situations to yourself that you otherwise wouldn't have drawn to yourself, which is what I was talking about. Now women are treating me out, treating me to days. You know what I mean? So, but again, on the flip side, my family's thinking I'm killing myself. So it's very, very weird scenarios. I just got out. I just got out of a relationship, so on and so forth. Right. So things were not necessarily stable, but during this fasting period, I'm like, yo, this is excellent. This is excellent. Like I said, I had more energy than ever, and so by the time I got to the 12th day, I felt like I did enough. I proved my point. I'm still alive. So all that energy that was wasted talking about I'm dying was like, y'all, I'm like, y'all just wasted y'all fucking energy. Because here I am still in your fucking face. And I defied what y'all thought was impossible. Which y'all too afraid to even try yourself. But that's neither here nor there, because they don't live this lifestyle, so we can't judge them based on those requirements. So that changed my whole life, because I'm like, yo, you got people out here talking about I gotta feed my family, I gotta feed my family, that's why I work so hard, I gotta feed my family. I'm like, maybe that's not really the case. And I'm not saying that kids should fast, because I don't think they should, but at a certain point they should learn the science. Maybe once they get about 15, maybe they become teenagers. But other than that, when they small, they like to eat, so what I mean, let the kids eat. But nonetheless, I'm saying all this to say that I had to put in work to defy the laws of gravity myself, not reading somebody else's story. Now, I did a lot of that too. I was reading up on other people's story, but eventually I had to do it myself to either prove or disprove everything that they're saying. They can be making all this shit up. I don't know. The only way for me to find out if it's real, I have to do it myself. So, not eating for 2 weeks, not eating any solid foods for 2 weeks, and I'm seeing that things are happening around me that were not happening before, because now I'm generating a greater amount of energy. I'm like, this is a life hack. This is a cheat code. If you just literally stop fucking engaging in all this bullshit that they feed us, you start to generate your own energy, and you become your own energy grid, to the point where you can magnetize yourself to all type of situations that were otherwise unavailable to you. Meaning now you can read certain books that you couldn't read before. I noticed that as well. Like when I fast, it be certain books, for example, like the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, like Think and Grow Rich. It's a lot of books to where, like, if I try to read it and I'm just doing normal stuff, it's like I end up falling asleep. I can be wide awake, like right now. I started reading the book and I started getting tired, started yarning and all that. Like, you know what? I got to put this book down. It's like, because I just don't have enough energy to comprehend the information. But when I'm fasting, I'm like, wait a minute. It's like I can easily comprehend these books. They don't seem so far-fetched. They don't seem like, oh man, like this book is complex. This is going in. Now I'm feeling like yo, this is, oh, it's making this click, 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 making these correspondences. What's up, Jay Flower? Right? So I'm making all these correspondences when I fast. That's just super hard to do when I'm not fasting. So I'm like, okay, when you're generating that level of energy, that makes you available to higher levels or higher degrees of knowledge. It also allows you to attract material funds. It also allows you become more attractive to the opposite sex. So on, and of course you have access to all this energy, so your creativity is shooting through the roof. Right? You said in your video how to change reality, that naps, meditation, fast, exercise change reality. This is why I said those things in that video. That's exactly why I said what I said in those videos, because this was me conducting experiments and me getting the results and me sharing my results as I'm doing now. So by me sharing my results, so I know this to be a fact because I've done this over and over and over again. I've lost count how many times I fasted now. So I've done this many, many times. So I know this to be the case, where you just start vibing on a whole different realm. And all the things, oh, this is another thing that I didn't mention. It's like all the problems that we think we have all started to dissolve. Like all of the problems that I thought I was having, that all the things that I couldn't figure out, all the things that were just baffling my mind, all the things that were just hard and were just everything that was just generating a negative response within me started to dissolve away. I'm just literally walking around and I'm getting instant answers to something that I couldn't figure out for the last 3 weeks. I just wake up with the fucking answer. Or I just get the answer not even thinking about it. It just comes to me. I'm like, yo, because we know that the mind receives, or the brain rather, is a receptor. So because I'm vibrating on a higher realm, I'm able to receive the correct information and comprehend it. But when I was vibing too low, even if I was to receive it, it would be too filtered to the point where it's like having a dream and having no idea what's going on in a dream, to the point where you can't pull any spiritual significance from it because it seems completely irrelevant. Because, you know, your mind, it just may not be vibing high enough for you to interpret certain divine information that may be being conveyed to you. So I'm saying all this to say that this is what it means, because y'all, I know y'all hear me talk about it all the time. Put in that work, put in that work, put in that work, put in that work, put in your spiritual work. This is what I mean by putting in the spiritual work. By whatever it is that you're doing, amplify it. If you already meditate, meditate in public. If you already fast, try to fast longer, or try dry fasting with no food or water. See if you can go 72 hours with no food or water. I've done that as well. And that shit is a whole different experience, because you can say a dry fast is equivalent to 2 days of regular fasting. So if you fast for a week, if you do a water fast for a week, dry fasting, it would be like you fasted for 14 days. Even though you only fasted 7 days, dry fasting. So it's like the effects double when you dry fast. J Flower have a question. Well, feel free to ask a question if you so choose. So I'm just letting y'all know, this is what I mean by spiritual work, putting in that work, conducting experiments, and gaining new experience that nobody else, no other human being could have told you, and no book could have told you. Things that you literally had to have a first-hand experience to realize that it's real. There was no other way to do it than to have that first-hand experience. So this is what I mean by life hacks and cheat codes. Even if you discover the information from another source, you still have to put it into action to see if it is valid or not. You can't just take somebody else's word for it, because your experience is going to be completely different. Why? Because we all have a unique energy signature and we all vibrate uniquely. So we are going to have unique experiences. How do you access the etheric realm when in sleep state? Well, it's a science to it. The science is, or for me, let me tell you about my experience, right? That's what I'm here to do. I have had an experience where I went into the etheric realm and I didn't have to break my consciousness. Then I have also had experiences where I've woken up in a lucid dream and I started to manipulate it. So let me give you both examples. The first example is, okay, so this is what I did. Because I wrote all this down. So that's why I'm so big on having a book of shadows. You have a book of shadows so you can document these things. Document these things because these are so easy to slip away. You know what I mean? Like you fast for 2 weeks, you may not remember what happened on day 5. But if you wrote it down, you will remember. Right? Okay. So this is what I did. What I did was I slept with my head facing north. That's the first thing. Sleep with your head facing the north. That's the best direction to sleep in. And east to west should be the direction you work in. So you sleep north to south and you work from east to west. So let's just say you have a desk. Excuse me. You have a desk and you want to align your desk facing the east. If you have a bed, you want to align your bed facing the north. You know what I mean? Because this is based off of energy grids. So it's an energy grid that goes from north to south, and it's an energy grid that goes from east to west. So the east to west helps you to be more active. The north to south helps you to, get into a more meditative state. Okay, so I was sleeping. Well, no, not sleeping, but I laid down with my head facing the north. I also was sleeping with no shirt on. So no shirt, my head is to the north. I had about 10, actually no, I don't know how many. I had copper pennies. You have to gather copper pennies. Copper pennies are pennies before the year of 1982. So if you have any pennies before the year 1982, they are real copper. All pennies after 1982 are no longer real copper. Those pennies tend to be a lot heavier and a lot darker. So I put pennies, real copper pennies, all around my sleeping area. So I created a circle of pennies, of copper pennies, right? I also had a cup or a glass of water above my head. So I was sleeping on the couch, right? So I'm on the couch. So where my head is, I put a glass of water with sea salt in it. A glass of water with sea salt. Right above my head. So, you got the couch, then of course you got whatever is next to the couch, and you put the cup right there. So I have copper pennies all around the couch. I have this cup of water with sea salt, sleeping with no shirt on. I also have crystals that resonate with the throat chakra, the third eye, and the crown chakra. So let's just say I had an amethyst crystal, I had a fluoride crystal, I had a lapis lazuli, I had sodonite. I'm just naming crystals that work with the throat chakra, third eye, and the crown. I had some blue Canaanite, so on and so forth. I'm just naming some things. So, crystals, copper pennies, sea salt water or water with sea salt, no shirt on so that the energy can flow. Preferably sleep butt naked if you can, so that the energy flows better. So I'm giving you, because I documented all, because I'm constantly doing experiments. So I'm like, okay, let me see what happened when I do this. Let me see what happened when I do that. Let me see what happened when I do that. So every little detail, I got to the place. I got to a point where I'm like, okay, copper pennies work. Okay, these crystals work. Okay, this sea salt with this water works. After going through countless experiments. So that's how my sleeping area is set up. So once I laid down, so maybe about less than 10 minutes after me laying down, I was visualizing the space in my mind. I created a space in my mind. So I had a visual of a room. Let's just say the room I grew up in, right? So the room, just a space that's familiar to me, so I don't have to think too hard on it. So I'm like, okay, so I visualized the room that I grew up in, right? Or that I was in, like, during my younger years. So I visualized that room. So less than 10 minutes, my consciousness projected directly into that scene. So that was the first time in my life, or that I remember, that I was able to go into the astral realm or the dream state, and I wasn't already asleep. I literally was still up. So my consciousness was projected just like in Avatar, the movie Avatar, where he was projecting his consciousness into his blue body, and he had to project his consciousness out of his blue body to his normal body. So my consciousness projected into the room that I created for myself. So now I'm in the room. I'm like, okay, I'm in a room. Let me see if this is real though. So now I think about women. I'm like, okay, let me visualize 2 women. Now I'm just having fun. I'm like, if this, when you in this etheric state, you can instantly manifest, right? So now I'm just having fun. I'm like, all right, so where the women at? So I visualize 2 women. They instantly appear. I'm like, okay. There they are. They having conversations with me and everything, playing video games. We all playing video games and shit. Because again, I'm imagining my childhood room. I had posters up of video games. I was the video game geek in my younger years. That's all I would do is play video games. So it's just easy for me to visualize this because I spent so much time there. So now, got the girls with me playing video games and stuff. So I'm like, all right. So I'm just doing things. All right, let me see if this happened. Let me see if this happened. Let me see if this happened. So I'm just doing stuff. And everything that I'm thinking is appearing instantaneously. So this probably lasted less than 10 minutes. Because pretty much by the end of it, the room is just full of all types of shit. By the end of it, so I'm like, yeah, it's time for me to wake up and document this. Right? So I have this whole thing documented. So that's my experience of going directly into the etheric realm. Now, I have many experiences where I woke up during the dream and I realized that I was dreaming, then I start to manipulate the dream. So when this happens, this also happens when I'm sleeping to the north with a glass of sea salt and water, and crystals if you have it, like the same scenario I'm talking about, right? And either it's after I listen to ASMR, for those who even know what that is, either after I listen to ASMR or I meditate myself to sleep, meaning I go to sleep with an intention on my mind instead of just allowing my mind to relax and do whatever it want to do. So my dreams tend to be a lot more vivid when I sleep with the water with the sea salt. So because the dreams are a lot more vivid, it's easier for me to tell when I'm dreaming, so I can actually wake up in the dream and start lucid dreaming. So I do that. I do that way more than usual, right? So there's many methods to do this, and just I would say the simplest way to access it is not eating. Also, okay, the easiest time I'd had was when I didn't eat or drink anything 6 hours before I went to sleep. Every time I do that, I have a dream, because it'd be times where you don't even remember dreams at all. Whenever I dry fast 6 hours prior to me going to sleep, I'm guaranteed to have a dream. It's guaranteed to be lucid. Now, of course, if I combine it with all that other stuff I'm talking about, then it's, you already know. So, because you don't want to be digesting food while you're sleeping or while you are about to lay down. you know, if you want that extra energy to be conscious in your dreams. Now, of course, you can be a person that just go to sleep, don't remember their dreams, and they wake up the next day. But if you want, it requires energy to maintain consciousness while in a dream state, just like it requires energy to remain conscious when we are awake. Right? All these things take energy. So that's why we meditate 20 minutes before we go to sleep and practice deep breathing, so that we are gathering enough energy to remain conscious when we go into the astrals and when we go into the dream world. We have to have enough energy to maintain our consciousness. So hopefully that was detailed enough. You know, would you say that ancient gods or Damians are life hacks? I've been working with them lately in Oshun, and life's been a lot more abundant lately, or just working with archetypes. Okay, this is what the gods are. I'm not sure if I ever said this in a video before, but I will say it now. The gods, or the archetypes, or the Netteru, are just aspects of the brain, right? So the gods are aspects of the brain. So when you work with particular deities, you are really, that deity is like a code, but you can call it a cheat code. So in a sense, yes, that deity is a cheat code to activate a certain part of your brain that is mostly latent, or Latin, well, not Latin, latent, which is like they say your third eye is calcified. There's a lot of the brain is calcified, especially when it comes to our spirituality. So when you work with deities, you can say it decalcifies the aspects of your brain that help you with your spirituality. Whatever, telepathy, being able to do what everybody else cannot do, what everybody else think as miraculous. This is just a person with a fully activated brain. So the reason that we work with deities is to essentially at some point have a fully activated brain, because they resonate with aspects of the brain. So that's the short answer. So you can say yes, the deities or the demons and the angels are definitely cheat codes to activate certain parts of your brain that otherwise would not be activated, because obviously, again, it may be a person's diet, it may be a person's atmosphere, it may be a person's upbringing, it may be a person's trauma that they haven't dealt with. Whatever the case, as to why their brain is not fully activated, it may be programming, it may be the school, it may be the religion, it can be a combination of any one of these things, right? So for whatever it is, it helps you to activate that 90% of the brain that otherwise isn't activated. So if you want to call that a life hack, if you want to call that a cheat code, you very well can. So that's to keep it scientific without going too far into space. That's to relate it to the body. So yes, the gods are aspects of your brain that need to be activated. Simply. Now, yes, it goes into many, many other things, but just to keep it simple, that's what it is. Fasting during the day like Ramadan, do you think it's a cult connection to the sun? Well, Islam is more connected with the moon, because for them to even know when Ramadan is, they have to sight the moon. And I guess you would know that if you're Muslim. So the Muslims are work more with the lunar energy. Even Allah is a lunar deity, the God that they worship. And before it was Allah, it was Allat, which was a feminine deity. And I have worked with Allah in my dreams before. So I wouldn't say it necessarily has a connection with the sun. I would say it more so has a connection with the moon, with lunar energy, more so than the solar energy. Because in the solar energy, you're really just detoxing, so you just out in the sun, can't eat, can't drink, you know what I mean? You pretty much, you are offering your spiritual energy to Allah. because that's what Muslims say they fast for. They do it for the sake of Allah. They're not doing it for their health. They're not doing it to activate certain abilities. They're doing it for the sake of Allah. So you can say it's not even really spiritual when they do it. Now, but again, religious people would consider that spiritual. So I don't want to insult anybody. Now, again, it all depends on a person's intentions. Intentions will determine a lot in life, trust me. So moving along, I think I made myself clear. You know what I mean? I definitely wanted to just give my personal examples of life hacks and cheat codes. You know, what I've seen, what I've done, what I've seen other people do, and what I continue to observe on a daily basis. Like I said, you know what I mean? I'm walking around with a bag full of pornos. Who would have fucking thought, right? If you just look at my previous videos, I've been talking about this energy, and somehow now I'm walking around a bag full of pornos. And I don't even have a DVD player. So I don't even know what to do with it. I got to figure out what to do with this. I got to sell it to somebody or something. So that's why I say, you know what I mean? Definitely. If you want a bag full of porn, I'll sell it to you. Otherwise, I got to figure out what to do with this. I don't know what to do with it, but obviously I have it for a reason. Now I can go into it because it's a lot of vintage porn, and I made the video, Life is a Vintage Porn Movie. There's a lot of vintage porn, and the most recent porn that's in here, I know I just got off topic, but I'm just letting y'all know what's going on right now. It has the Kim Kardashian sex tape in here. So you got all this vintage porn that was recorded maybe in like the early 2000s. Then you got this Kim Kardashian sex tape. And it's an authentic copy. It's a copy that somebody literally bought the actual copy. So I'm just looking at this like, and we know, you know, if you know anything about Kim K, you know that she is a avatar for Inanna or Ishtar, right? Well, I guess maybe you don't know that, but these celebrities are avatars to deities. Just like we are avatars to deities, just on a level that we're not known to the public until we make ourselves known to the public. And that's what you figure out. If anybody doesn't have a spiritual name or a secret name, because everybody should have a spiritual name or a secret name that you work your magic through. You work your magic through your secret name. Your secret name is your magical name that nobody else knows. This is a name, so when you work your magic, you refer to yourself through your secret name, because you don't want to use your government name or your nickname, because it already has an energy attached to it. Your government name already has an energy attached to it. Your nickname already has an energy attached to it. But when you create a secret name or a magical name, then you control the energy that's attached to it. So when you create a name strictly for your magical rights and your magical abilities and your magical experiences, then that is the energy that you work your magic through. You know, for those who don't know that. Right? So working your magic through your secret name. Why do you need a secret name? Because we know that sound creates matter. So when you vibrate your secret name, that's energy. And that energy has a form, and that form will manifest in the form of an intelligence that you can literally communicate with this energy or practice your divination through this energy. It's the same thing like y'all remember the show Yu-Gi-Oh, where you had little Yugi. Then once he figured out how to put together his Millennium Puzzle, he opened up the spirit of Yami, which was an ancient pharaoh that had lost his memory. So that's a secret code to what we are all going through. So what we consider our spiritual journey is like the equivalent to us piecing together the Millennium Puzzle. And once we get the pieces correct in their proper positions, then we unlock our ancient form, because we are all connected to an older form. We are all ancient deities or avatars of ancient deities. And once you realize what your true form is, now you can work your magic. So when Yugi unlocked Yami, who had lost his memory, but he still had his secret abilities or his magic, and he worked his magic or his divination through the game of duel monsters, right? So even though he didn't remember who he was, he still had access to his magical powers. You know, this is looking at Yu-Gi-Oh from an esoteric perspective. This is everybody's story. So we are going through life connecting pieces to our millennium puzzles, and once we piece it up together, we are revealed our secret name, and through our secret name we can work magic the same way Yugi was working the magic through the Yu-Gi-Oh cards or the duel monsters, and that's why he pretty much could not be beaten fairly. Now that's why every time he would duel, he was always at a disadvantage. He was always at a disadvantage for the most part, right? But he was still able to overcome, because nobody could defeat him, because this is what he did. Like, this is an ancient soul, and he was working his magic, and nobody could fuck with that. We have that same ability. When you discover your secret name, and when you discover what deity you are avatar of, you can work your magic through the energy of that deity, because it resonates with a certain, like I just said, a certain aspect of the brain. So it's going to help you open up that aspect of the brain. So the more you work with that energy, the more you work with that name, the greater it expands and the more energy you give it. You know? And that's also a way to protect yourself, so that, you know, if somebody was to be doing magic against you, they don't know what your secret name is, so they can't harm you. They're still using like your government name or your nickname. No, you have your secret name, and nobody's going to know that secret name. So if you're working your magic through your secret name, it's hard for people to use that energy against you, because they don't even know who and what you are. So it's like you are cloaking yourself with your secret name and the power of that name. Again, sound creates matter. So the more you vibrate that name, the more power it has, and the more power that would be revealed to you. Right? Hopefully I didn't lose y'all with that, because I know I went in. All right. Yeah, you can call it a personal password. If you find your secret name, you got to put in that work. Like I said, you may have to go to the dream world. I can tell you how I discovered my secret name, but that may not be how you discovered yours. You know what I mean? So however you put in your spiritual work, you put in that work, and it will come to you once you amass a certain amount of energy. Once you amass a certain amount of energy, it's going to come to you directly, because you have enough energy to connect with it now. And it's already a part of you. It's already within you. So now it's just making itself known. You know, because again, if we just have to pay attention to our dreams, you can say these energies come through our dreams already. We just don't be having enough energy to decode all these things. Sorry about that. I clicked the button. All right, so we back. So, can you go in on Kanye and Kim? Kim gave me a wand in the etheric realm. I hang out with Kanye West too. I mean, I don't know what you mean by go in on Kanye and Kim. In terms of what? In terms of the energy, or in terms of okay, you can say, well, we just dealing with spirituality. Obviously, Kanye is an avatar of Horus or Haru, right? So you got the avatar of Horus or Haru, and you can say Kim K is the wife of Haru, who is, you have different wives depending on where you hear the story or where you're reading the story. So you can say, yeah, you can say they are like modern, they are playing out their script. They are ancient souls playing out their script in front of the public. So yeah, you can definitely say that. You know, you can definitely say that they are definitely ancient souls playing their parts in front of the public, in front of the masses. That's why they have so much power. They have so much power because they are powerful beings, and they have discovered who and what they are. Kim discovered who she was sexually, and Kanye discovered who he was through music. But he always had a vision bigger than music, of course, that he started to do after the fact, with the fashion and with the shoes And you know, everything that he's doing now with the 300 acres of land, he about to start building cities and all that. So it came through the music and it manifested to greater things. And you say, Kim, she mastered the art of sexuality, that she let it be known that you can find your divination through sexuality. I just said this in the previous video. Most people think of sexuality as something negative or bad or something you only need to do with a selected partner, but she let it be known that even sexuality is a form of the divine. And that's why she's able to still thrive. She still make money off that sex tape to this day. That's why I'm like, it probably shouldn't be hard. I just found somebody who want a Kim Kardashian sex tape. You know what I mean? Like, it's, you know, who wouldn't want that, right? So that's what it is. It's definitely avatars, ancient avatars, playing out their destiny in front of people. But you know, they know who they are now. It's when you get to a point where you know who you are, you can't be stopped. It is what it is. That's why, you know, people like Jay-Z is able to do what he is able to do. People like Trump is able to do what he's able to do. Why is Trump the most hated? You can say Trump is a form of Set. For those who are familiar with the Egyptian pantheon, or the devil, you know, what people call the devil, or Sut, or Baphomet, right? Dumbaluido, whatever you want to call it, right? These are why these people are powerful. These are why these people have such a grasp on the public opinion. That's why when Kanye speaks, he breaks the internet. When Donald Trump speaks, breaks the internet, right? Because these people have that much magnetic pull to do things like that, because they know who they are. Trump doesn't have a doubt in his spirit. Kanye has no doubt in his spirit. Kim Kardashian has no doubt in her spirit. So they don't self-sabotage themselves. Most people don't achieve their destiny because they self-sabotage themselves, because they doubt. They have self-doubt. Maybe I shouldn't do that. I don't think I could do that. They be putting in their magical works and be doubting their own abilities. Like, damn, I hope this works. What the fuck you mean that you hope it works? You have to have 100% confidence in yourself that you know anything you do, magical or logical, will work and you will be successful. You cannot allow doubt to enter into your mind, because it's going to sabotage your own manifestations, and your own magical workings can be sabotaged by your own mind. And again, since most people sabotage themselves, and again, they can say this is due to religious thinking, religious programming, their upbringing, whatever the reason is. But there's always doubt is able to creep in and sabotage their magical workings. That's how people, for people who feel like they're cursed, for people who feel like they've been hexed, or there's some type of spiritual war going on, that's how they attack people, through their self-doubt. It's not really no energies that's just fucking with people just because they can. They have to fuck with you through your weaknesses, which can clearly be seen in the etheric realm. Like, you can't hide your weaknesses to spirits. You may be able to hide it from humans and keep a poker face on, but you can't hide anything from the spirit. That's why when you do spiritual work, you are cleansing everything, because you have nothing to hide, and you are leaving no stone left unturned, so that it can't be used, so that it cannot be used against you in the future. Anything that you neglect can be used against you. And that's how people get cursed and hexed, because they just, what the aspects of themselves that are left neglected, because people are not putting in spiritual work, so they don't even know how to protect themselves. You know what I mean? And that's how the energies is able to creep in and start fucking with people, because it comes in the form of their own voice. And that their own voice, they be hearing their own voice saying, nah, that, you know, you probably shouldn't do that. You can't do that. Nah, don't do that. No, don't do that. But it comes in their own voice. It ain't no demon screaming at them like that. No, it's their own self-doubt that was already within, and it's just being magnified. Their own weaknesses are being magnified. That's the true hexes and curses. It's like a person starts to destroy themselves from the inside out. That's why, you know, when when certain people die and there's like no reason, like, or when certain people commit suicide and all that, and there's like no reason, like, yo, what the fuck even happened? It's like they died from the inside out, or they killed or was killed from the inside out. Because if you have a major weakness and it gets exploited, then it can lead to suicidal thoughts. But that person still thinks that it's them. They're not saying like, yo, I'm hunted by demons and I can't sleep and all that. They're like, yo, I'm having nightmares, I can't sleep, I don't have an appetite. You know what I mean? I don't feel like doing nothing with my life. I'm unmotivated. All right? So, have I read the Screw Tape Letters? No, I have no idea what that is. I never even heard that. Let me take a sip of water. Give me 1 second. All right. So, I think I made myself clear. So unless anyone has some questions, we'll get up out of here. I know it's like the 3rd time y'all didn't see me today. But you know, I just had a lot on my chest. So now that I got it out, we'll be good to go. So again, if you haven't liked the video yet, definitely thumbs up the video. You know what I mean? Definitely leave a comment if you choose. You know what I mean? Show your support, however you show your support, so that we can keep this going, and we can keep conducting these experiments, so we can keep revealing this information that's life changing, these life hacks. You know what I mean? That you're not going to get from anywhere else. And again, definitely look out for my book, Seership. You know what I mean? Definitely keep checking out for the website. I'm gonna definitely this upcoming week, I'm definitely gonna be doing updates on the website. I know I'm saying that weird, but definitely gonna be doing updates. You know what I mean? Gonna start, you know, working more on the book. So I'm definitely gonna be putting things into motion. You know, starting next week, I'm gonna definitely take this weekend to just do more internal work. You know, and build up my energy so that I can stay focused and build up my concentration and meditation, so on and so forth. So, book by C.S. Lewis about a demon. No, I never even heard about that. I never even heard about that. But I don't really read books like that at the same time. So, like I don't read books about, you know, demons and angels and novels and fictional books. Even if it's a non-fiction book, like I probably, even if I saw that book, I probably wouldn't even find that interesting. I really don't want to, because you know, people just take it so much out of context. So it's like I really don't want to hear about some person's crazy ghost experience or demon experience. So it's like you know, they really don't even understand what's going on. You see it with Trump, well, you know, maybe so. Like I said, you know, Trump is definitely an ancient deity. You know, even if it's even if it's the devil. You know what I mean? But it's still an ancient deity nonetheless. But again, there is no good or evil. It's only energy, and energy is currency. So even if Trump feeds off of negative energy, it's still currency. He's still generating more money than people can possibly conceive, because that's just the level he on. So that's just letting you know, like, it's all about energy, and energy is currency. But no, I never heard of the dude. Had no idea he was an author. Never read any of his books. You know. What do you carry when you travel the streets? It's just a book bag, really. Let's see. Got chargers. Extra battery. Got the jar for the herb. Got tarot cards. What else we got in here? Got soap, to wash the clothes. We got another type of soap to wash your ass. All right. Let's see. I mean, since you asked, so you know, I want to show you what else we got. Toothbrush, toothpaste, lint roller, extra toothbrush, like to clean my shoes or whatever, you know, just a toothbrush, you know, a cleaning brush, you can say that. Sanitizer, clear eyes, vapor inhaler, clear out your nose. Got a Apollo stick for y'all, for those who even know what this is. What else? What are these things called? Nail filer, I believe, a nail filer. What else we got? Double-sided brush. What else? Cause yeah, just in case, you know, anybody else is thinking about, you may want to backpack around your city, you know, every now and then, see what's really going on. So for those who find this lifestyle interesting, something you want to do, maybe a couple times a year, or, you know, as long as you fucking want to. Just letting y'all know what I carry. Let me see. Obviously, you saw the water, so stay with the water on deck. Let me see. Got pens, whenever I need to take notes. We got many napkins and tissues, you know, for whatever reason. You know, I need to wipe my nose, whatever. Need to wipe something off my hand, whatever. Got endless napkins. Let's see what we got. Got an extra fork, just in case. Some Vaseline, for obvious reasons. Let's see. Got cologne, keys. Yeah, it's not gonna take all day. I really don't have. I try to travel as light as possible. Try to travel, because then otherwise you're just gonna be walking around with a big ass weight on your back, and then of course, you know, that's not fun. Unless you're just trying to build up your strength. Let me see. It's just really with this lifestyle, is just it's about non-attachment. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of things you just use one time. A lot of things you just use one time, and you just let it go. You know what I mean? Like I may buy a hoodie. You know what I mean? I may buy a hoodie after I'm done. After I wear it enough times, I may just throw it away, cop a new hoodie. Same thing with a do-rag. Wear a do-rag. You know what I mean? If it get messed up, just throw it away, get another one. You know what I mean? Because again, you don't necessarily have a closet to store anything. So, like when you use something, you use it, you throw it away. You know what I mean? So it's just, you just travel light. Whatever you need, you get what you need. Then you utilize it, then you keep going. Let me see what else we got in here. Got a rag. Wash your ass, right? You know, these cost like $1, so you know you can just re-up. You can just keep re-ing up. Just keep re-ing up. Let's see. Got deodorant. Got oil, all-purpose oil. You know what I mean? Hair body, your hair body and nails. All-purpose oil. You know what I mean? Keep some oil on you. Got wet ones, wet wipes. You know, these can multi-purpose. Use these for whatever you want, whatever you need to utilize them for. What else we got? Yeah, I'm literally about to show you everything that's in here. Hold on. Conditioner, shampoo, keep your hair clean. Got some sunglasses. Some vintage, like these some vintage sunglasses. Another fork. Got a fucking flashlight. You know what I mean? Let me see. It's not much left in here, actually. And I think the only thing left is you know, changes of clothes. Got the changes of clothes, you know what I mean? Socks, underwear, all that. You know what I mean? You just swamp those out. You know what I mean? So, not much at all. Nothing special, really. Not much at all. Nothing special. Again, so whatever is not in here, I just buy, utilize it, throw it away. You know what I mean? Simple as that. Just living as simply as possible. Somebody gonna say the Glock 40. The Glock 40. Nah, we don't even need it. We don't even need it. Don't even need it, man. Now, if I was on the east side, it's different. Like I said, it's different. You know what I mean? Like it depends on what location you're in. You know what I mean? Like whenever I'm on the east side, I don't sleep. You know what I mean? You do not want to get caught slipping there. You know, by the strip, you know, the Las Vegas Strip, Las Vegas Boulevard, nah. It's not what you think. Like, the strip is beautiful. But once you leave the strip and you really see real Las Vegas, it's like, you know what I mean? You in a whole nother world. You do not want to get caught slipping. All right? But that's the east side. But you come over to the west side, it's like you can just get to do whatever the fuck you want. Really? You know what I mean? Like, cops ain't harassing you, ain't nobody telling you what you can't do. See, the strip, the east side is a bunch of people telling you what you can't do because it's a bunch of rules. Oh, you can't sleep here, you can't sit here, you can't do this, you can't do that. You come to the west side, and don't nobody say nothing to you. There is no you can't do this, you can't do this. Go over here, go over there. You just, you know what I mean? It's you. The world is your playground. You know, so it really depends on your location. Knife? Yeah, actually, hold on. Yeah, I do have a knife. Let me see. I actually have a bottle opener too. I don't even know why I have this. I have a bottle opener. You see, it's Las Vegas. They got the hotels on there and all that. But you know, let me see. I'll show you the knife, and that'll be it. That's pretty much it, though. Yeah, nothing spectacular. And of course, yeah, we got the little knife. Alright, and so there it is. So there you go. It's not much else to it. it's mostly a mental thing, you know. It's mostly a mental thing. All right. You build stashes. I guess you're talking about I guess you're talking about like I guess how some people like kind of like have like a tent, and the tent is filled with stuff, and you know there's like a certain spots where you store stuff. Nah, I don't, cause I don't like being in the same. I don't like doing the same thing. You know what I mean? So I may be on one side of the city one day, I may be on that side a couple days, then I may come back to the west side, then I may want to check out the north side, then I may want to check out the south side. So I don't really, if I just really wanted to store stuff, I would just get like a storage unit. But you know what I mean? Again, like I just get whatever I need, I buy whatever I need, I utilize it, I throw it away. If I can't carry it, if it's too heavy, throw it away. So it's just really it's a lifestyle of you just utilize what you need. You just have your bare necessities, and you just make it happen. You know what I mean? Like it's real simple. It may be hard to somebody who isn't used to this type of lifestyle. That's all. Somebody who has lived their life in convenience. The refrigerator is right there. The stove is right there, the sink is right there, the bathroom is right there, the shower is right there, the toilet is right there, your bed is right there, the couch is right there, the TV is right there, the laptop is right there. For somebody who's used to that, then it's like, because for me, now all that is like in different places. I got to go over here to do this, over here to do this, over here to do this, over here to do this. I don't just have everything at my convenience. But if you're active, then it's not really a big deal. You know what I mean? It's not a big deal. It just requires a little bit more walking, a little bit more meditation, that's all. No big deal. Any specific spots where you take naps? Oh wait, I missed one. Hold on. Do you use planetary hours? I haven't downloaded the app on this phone, but yes, I know all about planetary hours. I call them horas. HORAS. But yeah, so I know, yeah. I'm definitely in tune with the planetary hours and the days. You know what I mean? That's definitely an essential tool, you know, for all my alchemists out there. You know, working your magic at specific hours, you know, based on what planet is in rulership. That's definitely a key item, you know, for those who take it seriously. So I know all about what you're talking about. Any specific spots where you take naps? Not necessarily. Like I said, it just depends on the location. Like I said, it's on the east side, there really aren't any parks. There's no parks. So there really isn't nowhere to sleep. So like I said, if I'm on the east side, I don't sleep. You just, you know what I mean? Like if you get tired, you know, you just gotta either smoke something, or you gotta, you know what I mean, you gotta just sit down and meditate and deep breathe for 20 minutes and keep going. It's like you're not getting no sleep. Like that thought is just not gonna enter your mind. So it's gonna be times where you're just not gonna sleep. Now on the west side, it's an abundance of parks. You literally running into parks when you trying not to run into parks. So on the west side, it ain't nothing to just kick your feet up and just lay down on the grass. You know what I mean? Lay down on the grass or sit up against a wall, whatever the fuck you want to do. Like it's simple. It's not really a big deal, but that's if you like going to sleep. I don't really sleep. The only time I really sleep is when I feel like I literally have to, but I try not to sleep at all. I just meditate. Like whenever I get tired, I just sit down and I just deep breathe. You know, then eventually my energy comes back and I just keep going. So I really don't sleep that much. And again, it's just, I don't feel sleep deprived or anything. It's what I mean. It's like when you practice a different lifestyle, it's like it's different. It's different. You know what I mean? It's different. I said I've been doing this. I was doing this in LA, doing it in Vegas, I was doing it in New York. You know what I mean? Like this is just what I do every now and then. Like I just be getting bored. This is my fun. Sometimes I get bored and I just want to go out and I want to see the world. So this is just what I do for fun when I get bored. But yeah, let me see what's really going on in these cities. So that's my motivation. Can you talk about detachment with manifestation or taking action versus allowing? It all depends on what you're trying to manifest. Like for example, if you're trying to manifest something that requires you to take action, then of course you're going to be taking action. Versus you're trying to manifest something that really doesn't. Like for example, if you're trying to manifest internal qualities, like you're cleansing yourself on an internal level, of course that really, the action comes later because you're mostly working on yourself. You're going within. You're utilizing your third eye and you're looking within. But if you're talking about doing something on the material realm, you know what I mean? The manifestation takes more of the form of earth magic. Your meditation turns into earth magic. Then your earth magic obviously requires you to, as they say, work with the planetary hours, work with your tarot cards, work with your crystals, you know what I mean, doing your meditation, doing your yoga, so that you will be ready and prepared when you do manifest. Because a lot of people may manifest, but then they're not prepared when the manifestation comes through and they miss it. So a lot of people are manifesting but missing their opportunities because they're not preparing themselves properly. So taking action versus allowing, it really depends on what you are actually manifesting. And based on what you're manifesting, it requires a certain set of, I'm not even going to say a certain set of actions. It's just more so of, you just got to have the energy. I would say the most important thing you can have is energy, because that's your currency. Because you can't manifest without energy. So your energy is your currency. So as long as you are constantly generating energy, then manifestation really isn't a problem. You just have to constantly generate energy. That's all it is. Cheap gems are great and very useful. I never really been a gym dude personally. I don't know. It's just as gyms are weird to me. I just personally don't. I'm like, yo, I don't necessarily enjoy being around sweaty people. That's just not my thing. So I guess other people look at it differently. They just get on the machine, do their thing, and get the fuck on. But I'm like, I just gyms. I'm like, I don't think so. That's just not really my personal environment. That's why I don't have a membership. It's just not really my thing. It's just weird. It's weird to me. I'm like, I don't. That's just not my thing, personally. But nothing against those who get the benefits of hitting those gyms. How do I feel about subliminal? What about subliminal? Your home is your mind. Well, you can say the home is the soul. I would say it's the soul more so than the mind. Because you still have your soul after you die. Your mind kind of dies. But it's all about how you perceive it. Because there's deeper things, there's deeper aspects to the soul than the mind. Let me see. It said army goes through a lot of trouble to make guys like you. Yeah, I would definitely say it's like being in the army. Like when I would go to LA, I would call it boot camp. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to go to boot camp. I would always call it boot camp because it's like LA has so many hills. It's like you hiking. It's like you just walking around. It's like you're hiking everywhere because of the hills. So definitely, I would definitely say it's like being in the army. Definitely, you know what I mean. It's just that it's that type of lifestyle. So I definitely will equate it to that in some sense. You just don't have nobody over you giving you orders. That's really the only difference. But that requires you to give yourself orders and to take care of yourself on a consistent basis. Make sure that you don't fall off. You been outside of the U.S.? Not yet. I definitely plan to go. Definitely want to go to London. Definitely, I got my eyes on London. I got my eyes on London. I got my eyes on Paris. I got my eyes on Tokyo. I got my eyes on Hong Kong. I got my eyes on Spain. I got my eyes on Mexico City. I got my eyes on Australia. I have my eyes on Brazil. I have my eyes on what's the name of that place? There's so many places, you know what I mean? I can go on and on, but yeah, I definitely, you know, we definitely got to travel outside of the U.S. at least once in our lives. Oh yeah, Mecca. How can I forget Mecca? Motherfucker, take my ass to Mecca. You know what I mean? Desired reality, subliminal that you listen to at night. Oh, okay. I think I know what you're saying. It's like for example, if somebody was to record like "I am God," and they just looped it. They just keep playing that on their phone all night while they sleep. I am God. 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 They just had it on repeat. It works. Yeah, definitely. Subliminals definitely work. Definitely binaural beats, isochronic tones, brainwave entrainment. Definitely useful. Definitely useful. But you definitely got to see it for yourself. You know what I mean? So you gotta know what's useful for you. But it's definitely I've done experiments with those things and have been successful. So subliminals definitely work. You know what I mean? You just gotta dedicate yourself to them like anything else. What's my rising sign? Scorpio. It would take 20 years to see all of Tokyo. Maybe so. You know, I just want to get in tune with the culture. You know what I mean, I don't have to see all of it. I just want to definitely just see how they live over there, and you know how do they go about their day-to-day life. See, what interests me in other cultures is how do they do the same thing that I do. You know, how do they fulfill their basic needs, their basic necessities? How do they have fun? You know, how do they expand their reality? Everything that we're doing over here in America, how do they do it? What are their techniques? You know, because I know they approach it from a different mentality because they have a different way of life. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely interested just to see how other people do the same things that we do, and what's the thought process behind it, what's the emotion behind it. You know what I mean? Like what's just really getting into their heads. You know what I mean? I would have to interact with the people and like really pick somebody's mind and just see like, yo, how do you do this? You know, what's your thought process behind that when you're doing this, when you're doing that? Because again, like their culture is so different, and I feel like I can learn something from every place that I travel to, because I've learned so much from LA. I've learned so much from Las Vegas. I learned so much from New York, and I've been to mad other places. That you know, every place that I visit, I learn something from. I pick up something. So definitely, we're talking about going into a place with a whole different way of life and a whole different culture, and I already know. You know what I mean? It'll be a life-changing experience. Mexico City is nice. That's why I want to go. You know, that's why I want to go. Definitely, I definitely appreciate the Mexican culture. Obviously, you know, being in LA, being on the West Coast. You know what I mean? You grow an appreciation for other people's culture. You know what I mean? So I definitely have a high value of Mexican culture. Definitely, you know what I mean? I love Mexicans. You know what I mean? Especially the ones that, you know what I mean, are cool with the blacks. You know what I mean? And I just use that because that's just how people relate to themselves. You know what I mean? But they showed me mad love. They showed me mad love. You know what I mean? They the ones who put me up on the herb. I wouldn't even be a smoker if it wasn't for Mexicans. They're like, yo, you not smoking? You know what I mean? The Mexicans was the one who put me up on the herb. So I got nothing but love. Nothing but love. You will be a monk in Japan. They do not really have monks like the East and the U.S. It's because the U.S. don't support that lifestyle. It's nowhere to go to be a monk. See, in the East, in the Far East, they have you have places where you can kind of live out in the wild or in a small village where they can live off the land. You really don't have that in the U.S. Because it's all about, they want to tax you for everything. So, in the East, they respect those lifestyles. They respect the lifestyle of a Buddhist, or somebody who's into Taoism or Taoism. You know what I mean? They respect those lifestyles. So you live in a monastery for monks or what have you, and you don't really have to worry about your basic necessities because they respect those cultures. They don't respect that shit in the U.S. They're like, yo, if you're not generating money, you have no value. So they don't, those type of lifestyles are not really supported here. So although we are in tune with their philosophies and their ways of life, yeah, trying to be a monk in the U.S. is definitely going to be a lot harder. I'm not saying it's impossible, but that type of lifestyle isn't really respected, at least at this point. Can't really speak about the future, but you really, like, who would you go to help you support yourself? Being a monk, you would literally have to depend directly on yourself and manifest directly from thought. You know what I mean? There's really not nobody who like, yo, if you a monk and you like, yo, I'm not working for nobody. I don't want attachments to anything. You know what I mean? Especially if you're a Buddhist, like, I don't want no type of attachments. It's kind of hard to live with another person or to engage in the American lifestyle. Like, most people engage in the American lifestyle, so it'll be a lot harder to live that type of lifestyle successfully. But I'm pretty sure that there may be people doing it. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure somebody's on YouTube making it happen. So, is that the original way of traveling? Well, yeah, of course. You know what I mean? Of course, you had, because it's a different experience when you walk everywhere you go as opposed to when you drive or you take the bus or you take the train. Like, when you walking, you actually have more ability to interact with the people. Whether you just trying to get to point A to point B, you have more opportunity to engage with the people. You have more opportunity to see the thing that you would have normally overlooked, and so you have more of an opportunity to really find your place. You know what I mean? There's a lot of places that I go that I wouldn't even have known existed if I didn't go there on foot. And it's just, certain places that you can only go on foot. A car can't fit everywhere. You know what I mean? So it's just a lot. You can do a lot more when you're on foot. It's like you're open to everything. But that's how it is. Everybody doesn't appreciate that though. You got some people who can't wait till they're driving. Where they can, they do whatever they do, and to each his own. Not here to judge nobody else's lifestyle. All right. What do I think about B.O.B.? B.O.B. is dope. I believe he was the first one to talk about the flat Earth in terms of hip hop. So he definitely made his mark with hip hop. Just putting people on game. I believe he just came out with a recent mixtape called Naga. I haven't heard it, but I've seen it. He just came out with a mixtape called Naga. Obviously he's talking about the Naga serpents, or the Nephilims, or the Anunnaki. So he on this shit. You know what I mean? So he's doing what he do best through music. He's putting that ancient culture into his rhymes, and I do the same thing. So I much love and respect to B.O.B. You already know. They do have wonderful monks that put out a bowl that gets filled. I believe you. Like I said, because of the experience I was talking about earlier at Hollywood, I do believe the people, if you dedicate your life to that, yeah, I can see people giving you things. You may be able to get like $20 a day. You put out your bowl, you may get $20 a day. You may get a full course meal. Like, you really don't need much to live. Like, again, like, you don't have rent to pay and all that. So let's just say a monk. Let's just say, and we'll end it here. We'll end it here. But let's just say a monk. Yeah, he was out, but he don't have any bills. So he put his bowl out every day, and he get about $20 a day. Could a person live off $20 a day? Let's see, because that's about like every 5 days. That's $100. So you can say it's about $500 a month. So you get $20 a day. It's about $500 a month. So you calculate your phone bill. You calculate, washing your clothes. You may decide to rent a room every now and then so you can take a shower. You know what I mean? Keep yourself clean. You may need to buy some t-shirts, some underwear, every now and then. Again, like I said, the people will feed you, so you really ain't worried about food. So yeah, like $500 a month, and you don't need to do anything, and the people are feeding you. Very possible. I can see somebody doing that. I can see somebody doing that. Very possible. You know what I mean? I may need to try that out for a couple days, see what happened. Let y'all know what the deal is. Hold on. So yeah, it's just about simplifying life. So this is the last thing I'll say before we get up out of here. It's all about simplifying life. Make life as simple as you can. Take out all the things that you don't need, that's taking up space, that you feel you need, that you really don't need. It's just about simplifying life. Because if you can simplify your life, then it ain't nothing to tame your mind. Because that's the whole point. It's to tame the mind. If you can tame the mind, you can tame the body. If you can tame the body, you can tame the mind. And that don't require a lot of anything. It don't require a lot. It don't really require much at all. Just dedication. If all you have is dedication or willpower, then you can accomplish a lot in life if that's what you choose to do. So with that, I'll definitely say peace. You know what I mean? Again, this is like the third time y'all seen me, but yeah, this definitely be the last time. So we're gonna get up out of here. So I'll see y'all soon. Once I have some more information to reveal, I said I'm gonna be around the city. So you know what I mean, y'all let me know. So we up out. Peace, love.